Retro Rob's Gaming Videos.
Hey, Rob here. I'm going to do a real quick unboxing of the NES 30 game controller. And this is a really nice little device, supposedly. It's Bluetooth, and it's made to connect to basically anything. So if you have an iPad, it'll connect to that. If you are an Android fan, it will connect to that. If you got a Mac, it'll connect to that. If you got a Windows box, it'll connect to that. And I have all the above and Linux. And I would like a controller that is for retro games that would work with all of them, that's well built. Because I don't know if you saw my last review, but the last NES controller I bought was pretty crappy. So I wanted something that would work with about everything, and this does. It's, as I said, Bluetooth, and I hear the construction on it's pretty decent. So let's take a look. I even hear that it has a built-in stand. I will say that the packaging is very nice. Picture of it on the box. It fills you with confidence as to what's inside. There's the back of the box. So let's take a look here. I'm also going to play a couple games on it in a little bit and give you some first impressions. For me, that'll be a little bit in the future. See, it's got these nice little seals. Look at, oh, there we go. How cool is that? Nice packaging. Nice packaging does go a long way with me, you know? First impressions and all. Ooh, nice second impression too. Look at that. Let's take a look. So, let's start with the controller itself. Here it is. Looks like a standard NES controller somewhat, except a couple extra buttons here. It also has shoulder buttons on the top. Here's something pretty cool about it. Attached to the back of it is, can I get this thing off? There we go. A little stand, and you put your cell phone. You put your cell phone in here. Maybe a light tablet might work too. And it'll just sit up in there. And I'll tell you what, I'll even demo how that works for you. But anyway, that just snaps onto the back of it, so you've always got it with you. Oops. Except I just put it on backwards. Now, it feels... yeah, actually it feels pretty good. These buttons are nice and stiff. The buttons that are supposed to be rubber are rubbery. Even the top feels really nice and tight. This is a well-built controller. On the top is a USB adapter and two lights. I'm assuming one's for syncing, and the adapter is for charging it because it has little batteries in here, of course. But you can also play games through that USB connector. So there it is. Let's take a look at the manual real quick. It has a nice little manual. 8Bitdo. And let's see. Shows you how to program it. All in decent English. See if there's anything crazy. The below conditions. Okay. It's semi-decent English. Huh. The most common situation for Android devices, use Mode 1 devices. For iOS devices, use Mode 2 or Mode 3. For pure touchscreen games, use Mode 4. Power off, hold start 3 seconds. Okay, so it's got a bunch of different modes for using it with different systems. I assumed it was all one mode. That is pretty cool. But still a really nice little manual, and it's full color. Well, a lot of colors. And the rest of it's other languages. In the bottom, we have more stuff. We've got a little keychain in here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a stylus or not. I mean, just look at the packaging on this, though. Once got criticized for reviewing the packaging, but tough. And then it says FC30 on it. So nice little toy you get in there. You could have skipped that and given me the controller for about $5 less, but that's still a nice little plus. By the way, these controllers are around $30. I've seen them as high as 40, as low as like 29 delivered, and I paid right around 28, 29 for mine. And then, of course, the cable's in here. And really, that's about it. So let's go play some games and see how it works.
Hey, Rob here, and it's been about a week for me, even though it's only been a minute for you. I've been playing with the 8Bitdo NES 30 controller, and specifically, I wanted to start by talking about this little tray that's attached to it. It's a nice little add-on. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to hold your phone or your tablet. Well, it's a little bit flimsy. It'll work great for a phone. But for anything greater than a 7-inch tablet, it's not going to work. My original iPad 1, not a chance. My 7-inch tablet, it even rocked a bit. So, you know, it's alright, but I wouldn't trust it all that much. That said, the rest of this controller, as far as construction quality and actual operation, was great. I mean, just a night and day difference from, say, this thing, or also my actual iCade little portable one that you snap the phone into. I mean, just a I'm holding it upside down. This is just a far superior controller. It's just, come on, it's just a much better built controller. So, basically, how it works, and I've been using it, so I know a bit of the tricks to it. The start button powers it up, but as a note on that, if you have the USB cable connected, and I'm looking for the USB cable, if you have the USB cable connected, don't bother turning it on like that. Just plug in the USB cable and plug it into your Windows or Macintosh or, well, Linux for that matter. I didn't try it on Linux though. Computer, and it will work fine. I did find that a lot of the games, specifically on the Mac, needed remapping for the buttons. The D-pad would work fine, but the buttons would need to be remapped in a lot of the games. But again, I've tried both of these. This one needed remapping too, but this one worked far superior. Just way better control. It felt a lot better. It was very competent. So I have nothing but good to say about that. One note, remember, if you sync this with one device, like if you sync it with your Windows machine or your Mac machine without the USB cable, and you decide you want to sync with something else, when you come back to the device you were synced with before, it's not going to sync with it. So you will have to resync. You'll have to restart that syncing process, which is basically you turn this on using the start button, and then you hold down the select button for a couple seconds till both lights, there's two little LEDs up here, they'll flash, and then you'll be able to initiate pairing again. The other thing is, if you want to use this in iCade mode, which you folks that are using an iOS device like an iPad or an iPod, you're going to need to, when you start it, every time you start, you need to hit Start and A at the same time as it turns on. Once you see the light on, you're fine. See, the light's flashed. Then you're okay. If you just hit Start, what you will get is a pairing error because it doesn't recognize it as a compatible device in its default mode, which is a Windows and Android mode. So you'll need to actually hit Start A every time you're starting up with iOS. That said, this thing works. This is my absolute favorite controller to use with iOS now, especially with the Jeff Minter games, the Lamasoft guy. Those games are great. Super Ox Wars is just a blast with this. And what was the other one I was playing? I was playing Goat Up. Not Goat Up 1, Goat Up 2 with this. And Goat Up 2 is freaking fabulous with this controller. I mean, it's just a different level of control. So, like I said, I've used it with several devices. It's been competent in every one. It's not really a replacement for an Xbox controller. I mean, if you're an Xbox controller user, just keep using your Xbox controller. But if you're looking for something that recreates kind of that retro feel on retro games and emulators, this is a great controller, and it can be used, really as a SNES controller too. It doesn't just have to be a NES controller because it does have the bumpers, and that gives you all the control, all the buttons that you need to play SNES games with it too. So, yeah, really cool device, well built. The documentation. At the beginning, I thought the English was pretty good because I was just kind of glancing at it. Woo! No, the English is pretty bad, but you get the point when you're reading the manual of what it's trying to say. So, at least it has a manual. All right, so it gets thumbs up. Again, great device. Thanks for watching. A lot more videos. There's probably one of those little cards that they started doing on YouTube. There's probably a card up there attached to more of my hardware reviews. If you like this one, I'm sure you'll like the rest of them. Also, subscribe and thumbs up. Bye.